Well, good morning everybody, welcome back to Shutters and Speed. Today we're on our way to Stowmarket to visit MCT Suspension to get the suspension rejigged on this machine. But before we go any further, I'm just going to say a few words about my introductory video. If you've watched that, you'll have noticed that I gave credit to my mate Bradley for the idea behind the Shutters and Speed channel name, and I was actually mistaken in as much as that it wasn't him that actually came up with the initial idea. It was my good friend Callum. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to apologise to my good friend Callum, because it was indeed him that came up with the initial thought. So thank you Callum, and I do apologise for leaving you out. Right, so we're on the A1066 here, and we're on our way towards Diss. Nice cool morning here in Norfolk, and we're going to make our way to MCT Suspension and see how we get on. I'm hoping that I haven't actually asked him yet, but I'm hoping that I can actually with my phone take a video to show you the process of the work being done. So if that is the case, then obviously we'll see that a bit later, but if not, I'll probably just we'll go through the motions, get the work done, and then we'll ride home and see what the improvements are like. So hopefully you'll enjoy the day as much as I will, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what changes he makes and how effective they are. I know the MCN had a Yamaha Tracer on long-term test back in 2015, and they brought their bike to MCT, and they were complaining of sort of similar problems to what I'm experiencing, and they only had the front end sorted out, resprung and different fork oil and all the rest of it, and their opinion was that the result was sensational, and it was a completely different bike in every way, and that is obviously what I'm hoping for today. So we'll see how we go. But in the meantime, we're just going to take a nice pleasant ride along the old 1066 here and have a great time. I had a very close call there. The old rear facing camera nearly fell off into the road, so we didn't get that on very well before we started, so we better just try and pull in and put that right. That was a very close call. Right, hello, we're back again. Just make sure that is on there properly. My word, that was good. Could have quite easily lost over 100 quid's worth of camera there. Well, looky here, what we've got on the side here. We've got some little piggies. Just put the lights on. Still spend some time with these babies from time to time. Looks like they've just been fed. They look as happy as Larry, don't they? Good. Right, we'll get back underway again. Just coming up here on the right hand side, we have Blooms of Bressingham for all you gardeners. This is run by the Bloom dynasty. That is Alan and Adrian, I believe, Bloom, and it's the home of the famous Foggy Bottom Garden. They're also very heavily into the old steam engines. They have some very notable engines in their collection, which I believe go all over the country to various railway events. Here we are in the very sort of pretty part of the town of Diss here in Norfolk. Very pleasant. Well, I don't know which way the old sat-nav has taken me, but we're coming down some funny old roads, let me tell you. Yeah, we're bouncing and banging along. Wow. It's quite pleasant, mind you. Quite pleasant. I don't always want to go along at breakneck speed. Where are we going this time, I wonder? Yeah, so here we are at MCT Suspension. He's just removing one of the legs off one of my forks. Ready to have that rejigged.
We'll replace them. This is the genuine article. You can see that's what you call a dual rate spring, not a progressive spring like a lot of people will describe.
Right.
What it's got is a constant rate spring to a different spring rate, which, as you can see in those tighter coils, a progressive spring will open out through the duration. So we're going to take this spring out, replace it with a linear spring, which you can see is a constant coil. What this is going to do is going to help that final extension on the fork have a little bit better bump recovery, because what happens with this, you get slightly overdamped and undersprung, and the forks then become lethargic and uncomfortable. So this is just going to help free the movement and cure that low speed rebound.
Well, everybody, I'd just like you to meet Dexter from MCT Suspension, a internet sensation. Right, so here we are at MCT, where the bike is done, and Darren is very kindly just going to go through what has actually been done on the bike. So, over to you, Darren.
So what we've done largely, we've taken the forks out, we've looked at the customer's rider weight, what he's using it for, etc. We've had a bit of a chat about what he's looking for. We've then gone to the bike, we've tried to make the most cost efficient improvements that we can. In this case, it's a pair of linear springs in the front, taking out the dual rate. We make a minor modification to the cartridge inside, and we also change the oil and the levels in the forks. We run a different oil in the damper side as to what's in the spring side, but the air gaps are constant on both forks. We then put them back together again. We've fitted the Nitron shock, which has gone very well. We've dialed in all the settings. We've now arrived at what we call the base setting, which is for the customer to road test. And then once that's done, we'll fill a spec card in with all the settings listed down and suggestions for what you might do for pillion or luggage, that sort of thing. So we're ready to go.
Well, we're on the way home now after being to MCT Suspension, and my word, what a difference. It's supple, feels like you're on a magic carpet, gives you so much more confidence. Brilliant job. Thoroughly enjoyed the experience. Darren's a great fella, thoroughly recommended, and the bike feels absolutely brilliant. What a change. We're travelling now towards Norwich, I suppose, on the A140. Traffic is quite heavy, so we'll be making fairly sedentary progress, I guess, but already I can feel the difference. Well, the old sat-nav has certainly taken us down some interesting roads on the way home. A bit of different route to the one we took when we came here. It's certainly given me some roads to test the suspension out. And although it's very bumpy, the way the thing is riding these bumps is much more plush than the previous setup. Really good. Now going through this town of Walsham-le-Willows. Very nice part of the world. Very pleasant. Steady tiger. Well, here we are on the way home. We're now coming into the village of Crimplesham, which is on the way back to Downham Market on my very supple Tracer 900. We've been over to MCT and had the bike sorted, and I have to say I'm really impressed, especially at high speeds. It seems as though the quicker you go, the better it is, which is really great. So, without further ado, that's me done for today, I think. So this is Shutterson Speed signing off for today, and I hope to catch you again next time. Bye!